My name is Wilma Clacking. I was born February 27th, 1925 in Reading, Michigan. My parents were Pennsylvania Dutch and German. My grandparents came from overseas in Germany, in Stoff, Germany, in 1864. And when they came across, their name was Dornbrock, but they changed it to Donbrock when they got in the United States. There was 4 of us children. I had a sister Bee, a brother Kenny, and myself, and my sister Colleen. We lived in Reading, Michigan on a farm. We grew up during the Depression, and we had an outside bathroom. We had a pump, coal stove. We cooked on a coal stove. We used kerosene lamps for lighting. And on Saturday night, we took a bath in the in the wash tub. That was our Saturday night bath. And then when later on we got power in the house, and it was a blessed event to have lights, running water, and heat, and all them good things in life. I said we were poor, but we didn't realize it because we were happy and loved each other. My brother went in the Air Force in 1940. He enlisted and went in the Air Force in 1940, and he was killed in a plane crash in 1946 and is buried in Phoenix, Arizona. We've lost our sister Bee, but there's still my sister Colleen and I, and we were the only survivors left of the family. She helped Daddy out on the fields and things. And when he'd be doing chores and stuff, she'd be out there helping him do that. And that was something else I forgot that I enjoyed doing on the farm, was driving the horses for Dad. I'd climb up the wagon to go up. As Dad was putting the hay on the wagon, I'd have to climb up to get out of the hay, so then I was driving the horses. And then when come chore time, I'd go back and get the cows and bring them up, too. But Mom worked different places in town than when we moved to Battle Creek. They were separated, so we moved to Battle Creek then. And she worked different places then. But Dad farmed until he passed away at the age of 83. So he was just a farmer all of his life. And on the farm that they lived on, when he passed away, they had a big screened-in front porch that he enjoyed being on out there in his Chase Lounge. So he lived a good, long life, so you miss him, but you can't wish him back. Well, when we lived on the farm, we made our own entertainment. We had a corn crib that we'd make into a playhouse and had furniture and things. Of course, we used weeds for coffee and things like that, so if we had a store, we'd use that. And then we would get into the apple tree that was green, get a tummy ache from eating green apples, and then keep on eating until we got rid of the tummy ache, and then got in trouble for eating the apples. And then we had a pond in the back of our farm. We would go there to do fishing and things. We fished in that. And then we'd wade around the creek. And when I got older, I helped my dad milk the cows. I had a time finishing it up so Dad would have to do it when he got home. But we enjoyed living on the farm. I said, I'll always be a country bumpkin because I love the farm. That's it. Okay, in April of 1944, I married Earl Clacking, and we were blessed with 3 children. Carol in 1947, Mike in 1949, Mark in 1953. And they blessed us with 6 grandchildren: Troy, Chris, Shelley, Tim, Jackie, and Samantha. And they in turn blessed us with 5 great-grandchildren. Lacey, CJ, Amanda, Kristen, and Anna. We love them all, and they're a real blessing to us. I worked at Clark Equipment after I got out of school on the switchboard. And then I left there after I had my family and went to Kraft General Foods and worked on the switchboard. I was a telephone operator until I retired in 1981. My husband Earl worked at Clark's as an expediter. He retired in 1980. So after we both retired, we could go to Florida. We lived in Largo, Florida, in a mobile home park. We had a double wide, and we were on a channel. There was another park in back of us, Four Seasons, but we were at Point West. But I would go fishing in this channel behind me and get catfish, but my neighbor had to clean them for me because they had points on like our bullheads. But we enjoyed that, and then we had a clubhouse. They could do shuffling, and we played bingo. And we'd have parties and things up there and potlucks. And the best part was a pancake breakfast. They'd have one Saturday a month. And then while we were there, we went to Disney World and Busch Gardens, which has all changed a lot since then, since we were going there. And one day we went to Lakeland to see the Tigers play, which was very interesting because I love the Tigers. And they're doing good for me now, so I'm real happy. And we went across to Jacksonville to see Troy on his USS Saratoga. That was a beautiful ship. We really enjoyed it. And let's see, then we had friends down there we'd go visit when we were there, but we only stayed 4 months out of the year. I said that was enough of Florida. I wanted to be back home in my Michigan. So we traveled back and forth for 22 years. And then we finally had to give up because my husband's legs were getting bad and we couldn't travel. But the worst part was driving back and forth. Of course, I'd load the car with everything and take it down, turn around, bring a load back. Till we had to give up and sell it down there. But I also had a nephew down there at Seminole, so I would see him and do things with him. We lost him last September. That was my sister Bee's boy. But he was like one of my own sons. And, well, when we first started going down, before we bought our coach, we would stay at a motel that was right on the channel, too. And that was interesting. And we'd go across to the Gulf and watch the boats and things come in. And they had a dividing bridge from St. Petersburg over to the other islands. So we'd have to wait till that bridge, would go up and then come back down so we could go across. But it got pretty hot down there in the summertime. So by April, I was ready to come home. We always had to have the air conditioner to pack up with and everything. So we'd start to travel back home. But I always knew where the rest areas were and had them all picked out, and the restaurants, because my husband wouldn't stop. So I had it all written down and knew where I was going to stay. We'd have reservations coming and going, so we knew where it would be. But we had a lot of fun traveling back and forth all the time. And then in April of 2002, I lost Earl, as his health was declining and was bad. I go to lunches. I go see my family and do things with my grandchildren. I have one granddaughter that plays in the band. I go to see her concerts. And I used to go to baseball games when my one grandson was pitching over to Athens. So I'd go see those games. But I don't drive too much at night now. So I do all this during the day, but I keep busy. And I work with the Clark Retirees Club, We used to have potlucks, but we can't have them anymore, but we go for lunches. So we're all together then. And the special holidays, I'm always with my family. Like I say, they all keep track of me and keep me out of trouble. But I think that's about the extent of it. I just try to keep busy since I've lost my husband, so it makes it a little easier for me. Then I have a lot of good friends, and we keep in touch on the telephone. Well, I think I've lived a great life. I'm 79 years old now, and I'm quite healthy. I've got a few problems, but I said I can cope with that compared to some people that are very bad. And I've had a good life. And I attend the First Assembly of God Church every Sunday, so that's been another part of my life. So I think that's about the story of my life. Been a great one.